Peggy 18.
Here at Corinth, we're committed to unprecedented investments in the advancement of space travel and terraforming technology.
Corinth is a private company that is run by Lamarcus Williams, who you will get to know when you play Directive 8020. They are fundamentally pioneers in space travel and innovation and essentially new beginnings.
Would you look at that? Gets me every time.
There's a lot of information in the game that you can find if you look in the right places, which tells you all about how the decision to fly to Tau Ceti F came about. I won't give all that away here, but they had very good reason to go to Tau Ceti F rather than anywhere closer.
Williams is the CEO of Corinth, and he's chosen to be on the Cassiopeia mission rather than the Andromeda mission, which is the actual colony mission that follows the survey. The reason he's done this is because he wants to be flying with his hero, Commander Stafford.
How could I pass up the chance to fly with the great Commander Stafford?
All his life he's looked up to this guy.
We'll do it together.
But also, he himself wants to be a pioneer. He wants to be the first person to have arrived at an exoplanet.
Corinth believe that Tau Ceti F is a good candidate to be a habitable planet because it's within the Goldilocks zone, which is true in real life as well, actually. And that basically means that it's not too hot, not too cold, and it has the potential for water to be on the surface, and basically it has the potential to sustain organic life. And that's the most important thing, really, because they're looking for humanity's new home. And Tau Ceti F is rough around the edges, which is why Williams talks a lot about terraforming.
Kids playing in the park over there. Grocery stores on the strip.
He's a very bullish, go-getter kind of character, and in a lot of ways he gets things done, but he can also rub people the wrong way quite a lot too. So a lot of the crew have quite an interesting dynamic when they come up against him, because he's sort of the boss, but at the same time, he's not really a scientist, he's not an astronaut, he's there because he's signed the checks. So I think it'll be really interesting for players to see, like, how do they feel in the character's shoes, but also just with their own take on Williams. You know, how nice do they want to be to him? How polite do they want to be when the boss is there? Where he ends up at the end of the mission can go in quite a lot of different places based on the choices you make.
Out here, I'm just a part of the crew.
Of course.
There are quite a few little nods that we put in the backstory and the narrative and all the discoverables around the ship that allude to the previous games in the series. That's for the fans specifically, but there's also a lot to discover if you're just jumping into this universe, not only about the mission, but about life on Earth particularly. There's a lot of history around the company that funded the mission and the governments and why they decided to find a new planet rather than save the world. I think it's quite thematically important at the moment. And the interesting thing is this is hundreds of years after the previous games. So a lot has happened, and we only allude to a little bit of it. But we really hope that opens the players' imaginations to what could have gone down on Earth.
We'll forge the way for the next great leap in human progress.
Okay. He's good.
I think there are a few things that a player might miss on their first playthrough unless they're really eagle-eyed.
Well, at least they made the wake-up cake.
We have lots of different categories of kind of like secret collectibles in the game, and one of them, for example, is like a conspiracy category. So as you pick up these different items through the game, you'll start to learn some deeper truths about Corinth, about Tau Ceti F, about the crew, and if you're a very keen being, you might pick out every single one, but I think that some of them are pretty well hidden. So there's definitely some things that on a second playthrough you would hopefully discover anew.
What do you see?
A butterfly. Beauty.
What about this?
A secret handshake?
A fortress.
And this?
I don't know.
I see potential.
History in the making. Secrets of the universe.
I see whatever we want it to be. Corinth, where humanity comes first.